Hello everyone, we are from Set6. Today our group is going to present BI framework, an integrated educational innovation for reducing academic pressure and enhancing student well-being in China's education system. Here with our group members Liu Zihan, Song Xuhao, Jiang Jianing, Geng Dingxiang, Tian Haoran, Sun Sihang, and Hu Chengle. Now let's begin.
Today I will present the introduction of our study on academic pressure in China's education system. First, look at the scale of computation. In 2026, about 12.9 million students took the Gaokao. That number peaked at 30.42 million in 2024 and has now dropped slightly. But still, admission to top universities like Tsinghua and Beijing University is less than 0.5%. For most students, the dream of entering a better university remains extremely difficult. Second, study hours. Chinese students study on average 55 hours per week. The global average is only 44 hours. That is 11 hours more every week, almost an extra 4 days of study. This leaves very little time for rest, hobby, or sleep. Third, sleep problem. Among junior high school students, the dedication rate of sleep disordered is 17%. Overall, 26.2% of adolescents report sleep problem. Nearly half of Chinese students go to bed after midnight. What does this mean? Students are working longer and sleeping less, yet the competition remains fierce. This is not a sustainable situation. The pressure starts early and never lets up. In the next slides, I will show you how this pressure affects students' health and well-being. Now, let me talk about the impact of academic pressure on student well-being. This is the most critical part of our introduction because it shows why this problem cannot be ignored. First, let's look at mental health. Academic pressure has a direct and powerful effect on student mental health. Depression dedication rate increased sharply by school level. In primary school, it hit 10%. In junior high, it jumped to 30%. And in senior high, it reached 40%. Among adolescents aged 14 to 18, 24.6% have a mental disorder, have 7.4% suffer from severe depression. These are not just a number, they represent real students struggling every day. But how exactly does academic pressure lead to depression? Research gave us a clear answer. Academic stress first triggers anxiety. Students worry about exam, grades, and their future. Over time, their anxiety reduces their life satisfaction. 1 year later, these students report significantly lower well-being. This is what we call the mediation pathway. Anxiety is a bridge between academic stress and lower life satisfaction. The statistical evidence is strong. The correlation between academic stress and sleep problem is 0.446. The correlation between academic stress and mental health issue is even stronger at 0.584. These are moderate to strong effect size, meaning the relationship is real meaningful. Second, let's look at physical health. Sleep deprivation is the most visible physical consequence. 23.2% of Chinese adolescents have sleep disorders. Among junior high students, the dedication rate is 17%. Nearly half of all students go to bed after midnight. But here is something very important. Sleep deprivation does not just happen on its own. Research shows that after-school tutoring harm mental health largely because it causes sleeping deprivation. In other words, sleep deprivation plays a mediating role between tutoring and depression. When students spend long hours in tutoring classes, they lose sleep, and that loss of sleep directly damages their mental health. Third, What happens if we do nothing? If academic pressure is not addressed, the consequences will cascade. Mental illness will continue to rise. Burnout, a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion, will become normal among students. Suicide risk will increase. Family conflict over grades and study time will worsen. Parents and children will become more distant. And on a large scale, public trust in the education system will decline. When students pay such as a high price in health and happiness, but see little reward, the entire system becomes unsustainable. This is why we must take action. In the following section, our team will present evidence based on intervention strategies to reduce academic pressure and improve student well-being.
Next, let me explain the concept of educational inequality between urban and rural areas in China. Educational inequality refers to the unequal distribution of educational resources and opportunities between students living in urban and rural areas. This means that not all students have the same access to quality education. In general, urban schools have significant advantages. They often receive better funding, employ more qualified teachers, and provide advanced technology, facilities, and learning opportunities. These advantages help students achieve better educational outcomes. In contrast, many rural schools face challenges such as limited educational resources, teacher shortages, poor infrastructure, and fewer opportunities for academic enrichment. As a result, rural students often have fewer opportunities to compete on an equal footing with their urban counterparts. This disparity can lead to unequal access to quality education and lower chances of gaining admission to top universities. Consequently, many students experience greater competition and academic pressure as they strive to overcome these disadvantages. Therefore, educational inequality remains an important issue in China because it not only affects educational outcomes but also influences students' future opportunities and overall development.
Hello everyone. Today I will discuss the first two factors contributing to academic pressure in China's education system. The first factor is the examination-oriented education system. In China, examination play a very important role in determining students' educational and career opportunities. The Gaokao, or National College Inter examination, is considered one of the most competitive examinations in the world. Students spend so many years for this examination because the results can greatly influence their future. The factor can be explained by confusing educational values, which emphasize the hard work, discipline, and academic achievements. Education is viewed as a key pathway to social mobility and success. In addition, achievements motivation theories suggests that students are motivated to achieve success and work for. As a result, many students become highly focused on obtaining good grades and maintaining higher rankings. Although competition can motivate students to work harder, excessive emphasis on examination often creates stress, anxiety, and a fear of failure. Students may propose schools over creativity, critical thinking, and personal well-being. And then we move on to the second factor. The second factor is the parental expectation and family pressure. In many Chinese families, parents place a great importance on education achievements, influenced by the traditional belief of hoping children become successful. Parents often set high academic expectations for their children. According to social expectation theories, individuals tend to behave according to the expectation of important people around them, such as the parents, the relatives, and so on. Since parents are highly influential, students often feel obligated to meet their expectation. Family system theories also explain that family members affect each other's emotions and behaviors. Therefore, children may experience pressures when their parents compare them with other students or expect outstanding academic performance. This can lead to fear of disappointing parents, emotional stress, and reduced self confidence. Consequently, parental expectation becoming a significant source of academic pressure for many Chinese students. The third factor contributing to academic pressure is intensive school competition. This factor can be understood through social comparison theories developed by the Leo Festinger. The theory states that individual evaluates the ability and achievement by comparing themselves with others. In school, students often compare their grades, rankings, and academic performance with their classmates. In China, many schools place strong emphasis on examination results and academic rankings. Students are encouraged to compare for higher position in class and better opportunity for admission to prestigious university. Some schools even publicly display rankings, making students consistently aware the performance related to others. While competition can encourage students to improve, excessive competition may have negative consequences. Students who perform below their peers may develop feelings of inadequacy and low self-esteem. This may become anxiety and maintaining their rankings and fear being left behind the academically. Furthermore, continued competition can reduce students' enjoyment of learning. Instead of focusing on gaining knowledge and developing skills, students may become obsessed by achieving higher scores than others. Over time, this pressure can contribute to academic burnout, emotional anxiety, and declining mental well-being. In conclusion, intense school competition is a major factor contributing to academic pressure in China. Although competition can motivate academic achievement, it is important to maintain a balance between performance and student well-being to ensure healthy and sustainable educational development. Thank you.
Now, I will talk about three results for student study. Retarded pressure in China. Too much schoolwork, social control, and lacked mental health for help from schools. First, look at this site about homework and after-school classes. We use the connective road theory here. Simply put, our brain can only take in a limited amount of knowledge. If students get too much study work, they cannot learn well and feel tired. Boring repeated homework makes them feel more stressed about studying. In daily life, having homework takes up their free time. They have no time for habits. Students can take extra classes on weekdays and holidays. They they scanted it for every day, so they get psycho tired in the and they study only because they have to, not because they want to. Now, let's move to the second part, social control and post-school mental health support. First, let's talk about control values. We use a broad depth control capital theory. In this theory, good school guidance mean valuable personal resources. Better guidance bring higher score, higher social respect and better paid jobs in the future. In China, high marks help students enter good universities and find nice jobs. Many people think guidance stand for a personal value. Families and the society expect students to get high scores. Students keep competing with each other under such pressure. Next is the program of school mental health care. We use the string copying theory. This theory sees professional guidance can help students realize worry and pressure. Without such help, long-term pressure will cause mental health programs. However, most schools do not have enough conscious of or simple mental health lessons. Schools uh, seldom uh, seldom check students' mental condition regularly. Students have no easy ways to let out bad feelings. Their worrying will become worse over time. In short, having homework, traditional social ideas, and in self-confidence mental health service create a great study pressure for Chinese students. Those factors make teenagers worried and unhappy.
Now I want to present the implications of academic pressure in China's education system. First, academic pressure has significant effects on students at both the personal and the psychological levels. At the personal level, many Chinese students spend long hours studying, completing homework, and attending extra touring classes. As a result, they often experience sleep deprivation, physical fatigue, and poor health. Many students sacrifice their leisure time and physical activities in order to achieve better academic results. In addition, academic pressure can affect students' self-esteem. When students fail to meet expectations from parents, teachers, or themselves, they may begin to doubt their abilities and lose confidence. At the psychological level, excessive academic pressure can lead to anxiety, depression, and emotional distress. Students constantly worry about examinations, grades, and future opportunities. Over time, this stress can develop into academic burnout, where students feel exhausted, lose motivation, and no longer enjoy learning. Therefore, academic pressure is not only an educational issue but also an important mental health concern among students. Next, academic pressure also affects students socially and educationally. At the social level, students often spend most of their time studying and have limited opportunities to interact with friends or participate in social activities. This may lead to social isolation and weaker interpersonal relationships. Furthermore, high parental expectations may create conflicts between parents and the children. In many Chinese families, academic achievement is considered a key indicator of success. When students are unable to meet these expectations, misunderstandings and tension may occur within the family. At the educational level, excessive pressure may actually reduce the effectiveness of learning. Instead of focusing on understanding knowledge, many students focus mainly on memorization and examination techniques. As a result, creativity, critical thinking, and problem-solving skills may not be fully developed. Students may lose interest in learning because education becomes associated with stress rather than personal growth and exploration. Therefore, excessive academic pressure can negatively affect both educational quality and the students' overall development. Finally, the effects of academic pressure can also be seen at the national level. A highly examination-oriented education system may produce students who are good at taking tests but less capable of innovation and creative thinking. In today's rapidly changing world, countries need talented individuals who can solve complex problems and develop new ideas. However, when students are constantly under pressure, they may become afraid of making mistakes or taking risks, which can limit innovation and creativity. In the long term, this may affect a country's competitiveness and sustainable development. A nation's future depends not only on academic achievement, but also on the well-being, creativity, and the potential of its young generation. To conclude, academic pressure in China's education system has significant impacts on students' physical health, mental health, and social relationships, educational outcomes, and even national development. Therefore, effective intervention strategies are necessary to create a healthier and more balanced learning environment by reducing excessive pressure and promoting student well-being. China can support both academic success and future innovation.
Hello everyone, now I will talk about our BEI plan. Our full name is Balanced Education Initiative and our slogan is Balanced Academic Excellence, Empowering Student Well-being. Many Chinese students have high study stress, hard college entrance exam, lots of homework, after school classes, and high hope from the parents make the student feel worried and tired. This mental health becomes the worst. So we make the BEI easy to use plan to cut student study pressure and help students grow fully. BEI have the five main parts. The first one is CHAIs, which are students by group work, home show, and digital fields, not only the final exam scores. The second one is SMWE. School set up the mental health rooms, check the student feeling early, and let students help each other to realize the stress. The third one is SAWMIs. We use online tools to control the homework time and after-school classes. School also have the day with all the homework for rise. The first one is PPAN. We hold the classes for parents online or offline to help them set the proper goals and work well with the teachers. The last one is HSDP. Students can join the sports, arts, volunteer, and creative activity to develop different skills on the book. Next, I will share the results and the value of BEI. If school use the BEI I will give the five good results. The first one is study. Students will feel the less stress and won't get the tired of study. Second, students will have the better mental health and learn to face the pressure well. Third one, the student can balance study and personal habits instead of only care about the marks. Firstly, parents and schools will communicate and work together better. Last one, we can train the student to creative and ready for their future life. Now let's look at the BEI's main value. Old education only care about the exam scores, but BEI changed this model. It pay quite attention to study student guides and their happy life at school. What's more, BEI can be used in all schools. From the primary school to university, it gives a complete and useful way to solve the heavy study pressure problem in China education system. Okay, the next one is two key education reform plans to ease student heavy study pressure. First is reforming the school assessment system. Right now, schools rely too much on big exam. Students only care about scores and memorize faced with all the real learning. To fix this, school will use the CHAR model. Teachers will judge students through the group tasks, class talks, and portfolios, not just task marks. We also build the DSAP, a digital fee to record student habits, volunteer work, and relationship. AI tools will find each student's weak points so teacher can give their personalities help. The government will cut the exam weight and train teachers to do the fair all around the evaluation. In this way, students will not fear one-time big tasks and give the group many useful skills. Second, we strengthen the school mental health service. Too much schoolwork makes many students feel anxiety, tired, and sad. We add more school collaborations and open student wellness centers for province talks. We run the MHEDP to do the regular mental checks. We find the strengthen students early and give the quick help. School holds a weekly regulation activity and train more the students to be the pre-sports. All teachers also learn the basic mental health knowledge. They can support students by the motion and the fast and work with the parents together. All these steps can make the warm school evaluation environment to protect students' mental health. Okay, now let's look at how we control the student homework and after-class tutoring to create a balanced life. First, we set the clear rules for homework and prevent tutoring. We carry out the HMLBP policy. It sets a stable homework time for children of the different grades. Teachers strengthen the meaningful tasks instead of the repaired boring the exercise. We use the SHCI's online system to track all subject homework. It stops the teacher from giving too much homework on the same day. For after-school tutoring, the government makes the strict uh, rules on this length and the content. We also tell the parents, long study hours don't create the better guides. Second, we push the students to keep a balanced daily lifestyles. Guys are not the only standard of the success. We start the SLBP, which lays the physics time every week for sports, art, and communication volunteer work. This activity helps students make friends and relax stress. We also have the homework field wellness day each month. On that day, students don't need to finish the school tasks. They can stay with the family, do sports, or enjoy their own jobs, own hobbies. With the last school burden, students can review, keep healthy, and stay motivation for the long-term learning.
Now I'd like to discuss one solution to reduce academic pressure, which is enhancing parent education and awareness programs. One major source of academic pressure comes from excessive parental expectations. Many parents place a strong emphasis on academic achievement, which may unintentionally increase pressure on students. As a result, some students experience anxiety, low self esteem, and emotional exhaustion. Therefore, academic success should not be the only measure of a child's future. To address this issue, schools can organize parent education programs that teach positive parenting practices, effective communication skills, and emotional support strategies. In addition, a digital learning hub can provide parents with useful resources and flexible online learning opportunities. Schools should also strengthen parent teacher partnerships through regular communication and progress reviews. This helps parents better understand their children's needs and allows schools to identify signs of stress at an early stage. Furthermore, family well-being activities such as family bonding sessions and community programs can help strengthen relationships between parents and children. Overall, these initiatives can reduce academic pressure, improve parent-child relationships, enhance students' well-being and confidence, and create a healthier learning environment. Now, I would like to discuss another solution to reduce academic stress, which is promoting holistic education. Many education systems focus heavily on examination results, while students' emotional, social, and personal development are often overlooked. This can increase stress, reduce motivation, and limit students' overall growth. To address this issue, schools should adopt a holistic education approach that develops students as well rounded individuals rather than focusing only on grades. One key strategy is implementing holistic development programs, including sports, arts, leadership activities, entrepreneurship projects, and volunteer work. These activities help students develop important life skills and discover their talents beyond academics. Another strategy is introducing personalized growth pathways, allowing students to pursue areas that match their interests and strengths. This helps them realize that success is not defined solely by academic performance. Schools can also promote innovation and enrichment learning through real-world projects and problem-solving activities, which strengthen creativity, critical thinking, and teamwork skills. In addition, community service programs can help students develop empathy, social responsibility, and a stronger sense of purpose. Overall, holistic education can reduce academic stress, improve well-being, and support the development of confidence and well-rounded individuals. So, to further support students' well-being, schools should provide more opportunities for balanced learning activities. For example, schools can organize outdoor learning experiences, mindfulness sessions, and creative workshops that allow students to take a break from academic pressure. Schools can also introduce a balanced learning day where students participate in experiential learning, team building activities, and personal development programs instead of traditional classroom lessons. These activities help students relax, recharge, and maintain a healthier balance between academic responsibilities and personal well being. Another important initiative is establishing a recognition system that values achievements beyond academics. Rather than focusing only on examination results, schools should also recognize students' contributions in sports, arts, leadership, community service, and personal growth. This sends a positive message that success can be achieved in different ways. By recognizing diverse talents and strengths, students can develop greater self confidence and feel appreciated for their unique abilities. At the same time, it reduces the pressure of competing solely based on grades and encourages students to pursue their interests and passions. Overall, these initiatives can reduce academic stress, improve emotional well-being, strengthen creativity and life skills, and help students become more confident, motivated, and well-rounded individuals. Next, I will discuss the impact and commercial value of the Balanced Education Initiative. From a social perspective, BEI helps improve students' mental health and overall well being by reducing anxiety, burnout, and academic stress. It also strengthens collaboration between schools and families while promoting educational equity by recognizing different talents and pathways to success, rather than focusing only on examination results. From an educational perspective, BEI supports the transition from an exam oriented system to a more holistic approach to learning. Through continuous assessment, mental health support, and student development programs, students can develop important 21st century skills such as critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and resilience. This helps increase students' motivation and prepares them for future challenges. In terms of commercial value, BEI adopts a three-level business model. For governments, it provides education reform solutions, teacher training, and mental health support systems. For schools, it offers digital platforms and student wellness services. For families, it provides parenting education programs and family support services. Finally, BEI is designed to be sustainable in the long run. By using data and AI technology, the system can continuously improve its effectiveness and adapt to the changing needs of schools and students. Overall, BEI creates positive social impact, drives educational transformation, and offers sustainable commercial value, making it a comprehensive solution to address academic stress. Next, I will introduce the product formulation of the BEI framework. The product formulation refers to how BEI is translated into practical and implementable toys. It's mainly divided into four parts. First is the digital infrastructure. This includes the Digital Student Achievement Portfolio, or DSAP, which records students' academic and personal development. The Smart Homework Coordination System, which helps monitor and control students' workload, and the Digital Mental Health Platform, which supports early identification of psychological risks and provides emotional support toys. Second is professional services and content, including teacher mental health training, parent education programs, and a holistic development activity library. These resources ensure that both teachers and parents are actively involved in supporting students' well-being. Third is the implementation package. BEI is designed with three levels: a basic edition for schools with limited resources, a standard edition with more complete assessment and counseling support, and a premium edition that integrates the full ecosystem with customized solutions and expert support. Finally, BI uses a continuous improvement system based on the PDCA cycle. It collects data from academic performance, mental health indicators, and parent feedback to continuously optimize the program.
In conclusion, academic pressure has become a serious challenge in China's education system. Factors such as the Gaokao examination, parent expectations, intense school competitions, and homework, as well as limited mental health sports, have significantly increased the students' stress level. As discussed earlier, academic pressures can lead to many negative consequences, including anxiety, depressions, burnout, and reduce motivation. It may also limit students' creativity and holistic development, uh, affecting both individual well-being and future human capital development in China. To address these challenges, our group possible the balanced education. This framework focuses on five key areas: holistic assessment, mental wellness sports, workload management, parent and parent engagement, and holistic student development. And together, these strategies aim to create a healthier and more balanced learning environment for students. Ultimately, academic should not come at the expense of student well-being. By promoting a more student-centered education system and strengthening competition among school parents and political makers, we can help develop the students resilient, creative, and future-ready students.
That's all for our presentation. Thank you for your listening and watching.